members throughout Rhode Island and in the vicinity, as well as business manager of the Rhode Island Laborers District Council, which also represents an additional 9,000 plus workers, 3,000 plus work for the City of Providence and Laborers Local 1033. And I am here today to express my strong opposition to what are we doing here today with an ordinance such as this, with a company that's been here for almost 190 years, for a specific issue to laser a company, to penalize them for having an investment in a project, an energy project which is, across this country, has been a hot button issue. It also suggests that if you look at your own investments in the City of Providence Pension Fund, the State of Rhode Island Retirement Fund, my own private retirement funds that we have, there's a portion in every single portfolio in your own individual money market accounts and things that you put in passive investments, have investments in energy stocks. So what's next? Are we going to come here next week and we're going to say that we want to put and divest the Providence Pension Fund out of energy stocks? We're going to go to the state, which has almost 2%, which last time I checked, and I spoke with Treasurer Magaziner prior to this hearing, made close to 40% the last 2 years. You have different allocations in those funds. You spread it across a long array of different asset allocations. We're going to stop that. We start here and then we move on. Energy is not an easy subject. Going forward, at some point, we're in issues across this state. We've got issues in Burrillville with a power plant. We've got issues with the water system. We were here a few weeks ago, Providence Water. This is just another attempt to strategically utilize leverage to penalize a good corporate citizen that's made its home here in the state of Rhode Island for one specific issue and one specific project. This is not a universal ordinance. This ordinance is aimed directly at Citizens Bank for one issue. As a disclaimer, let me just say, as the chairman of the Rhode Island Laborers Benefit Funds and the chairman of the Rhode Island Laborers Pension Fund, 2 months ago, we voted unanimously, Board of Trustees, to bring $350 million back to Rhode Island and use Citizens Bank as our custodial services in addition to our treasuries. Taking that business for other reasons in addition, not only because of their insistence and commitment to Rhode Island and building a brand new campus in Johnston, Rhode Island, putting these guys behind you to work, who have been out of work for years, real faces, real jobs, real economic development. $350 million from State Street Bank in Boston back to Citizens Bank in Providence. So the private sector is doing its job. Commend President White for being here as well. There are quite a few instances where Labor and the Chamber are on the same page, and this is definitely one. This would send an awful message from this city to start to get specific and start organizations and activism to get specific and start to laser where they pick and choose. And if you vote on this ordinance, you know what's next? Your own pension fund. And then the state after that. I commend you for what you do. Energy is not easy. I hope that someday in my lifetime that there will be a practical move towards renewable. I didn't see any of these activists in 2007 when we announced the Block Island wind farm. Matter of fact, some of the same people that are here testifying against a pipeline testified against us for offshore wind, renewable, the future. I don't see the activism no turning into yes. So if you really want to get something done, to my activism friends, join me in trying to pursue renewable energy, offshore wind, solar, instead of fighting us everywhere we go. But this is a real bad ordinance. This will send an awful message. Labor's doing its part, like I mentioned. Business is doing its part. And thank you for listening. Be glad to answer any questions, but this is not just a local issue. This is a strategic pinpoint attack to try and send a deterrent for things in the future.
Thank you, Mr.